There were so many times in my life where I was trying to be proactive and do the smart adult thing, and it didn't work out for me. Why, you might ask? Because you will never find peace where you're not meant to be. Hello, welcome. My name is Chelsea. If this is your first time here, I'm already stumbling across my words. If this is your first time you're here, thank you. Welcome to my channel. On here, we love to discuss all things self help, self improvement, and becoming more self aware and intentional to become aligned with who you are meant to be. And today, we are talking all about the resistance you'll find in places that are not meant for you in order to get to where you really should be going. And first, let me preface by saying when I say should be going, it doesn't mean that there is one correct way or thing you should be doing, but in your heart, you will know if you are somewhere where you're not meant to be, where you're not happy and you're not fulfilled. I feel like oftentimes we expect things to work out for us in the way that we want them to on the timeline that we expect them to. And when that doesn't happen, we get upset. We think our lives are going to shit or whatever it is, or things are not working out for us. But there's always a bigger picture. Maybe a relationship didn't work out for you because you were meant to be with somebody else that maybe is more aligned to you or you're more compatible with. Maybe a job didn't work out for you because you have something better waiting for you. This works with friendships, environments, whatever it might be. Not every loss is an actual loss for you. Now, for me, I have done so many different jobs. I currently am a part-time fitness instructor and doing YouTube and producing a show, but there was a time where I was trying so many different jobs because I'm like, okay, well, I think it would just be smart of me to get a part time job while I am still in school, while I am working on other things. And I would always try to make sure that these jobs were somewhat aligned with my interests in terms of what I cared about or if I could benefit in some form. So there was a like body care shop that I worked at. There was a nail salon that I worked at as well. I also, for a time, worked a full time in a marketing agency just because I felt like all of those jobs would be somewhat adjacent to my interests and would allow me to benefit in some sort of way. And I know I was thinking at the time, and you're probably thinking, okay, it's a part time job, nothing serious, right? Worst experiences of my life. And I'm obviously not going to come on here and bash these places that I worked at. Not everyone is bad, but I just had such a terrible time that it made me realize why I need to be doing YouTube and content and producing my own show and just being an entrepreneur, because every time I tried not to do that, it did not work out for me. Not only did it not work out for me, I was completely miserable and I just like had a really awful time. So one of the first terrible jobs that I had, I was working at this bougie nail salon, and I think I lasted an entire month, which it felt like a lot longer than that, but the environment was pretty hostile with a lot of the staff that worked there. Not everybody. It's not about that place. It's the fact that I was there and I was trying to convince myself that it was a good job to have because this was a bougie place where I felt like higher profile people would be going to, considering that I am entering the entertainment industry and content industry. It would be good for me to be in these spaces. On top of that, it's a nail salon. If I get a discount on like a service or something, that's also really good because I'm somebody that just likes to do my nails. So I was trying to convince myself that this part-time job made sense. It wasn't that deep if it wasn't, what I really, really wanted in life, because it was just a part-time job. It was something I was doing in between jobs or whatever it was, and it wasn't my end career goal. But I want us to stop looking at our time as things that can just be wasted because it's not what we really want in life. And what I mean by that is I was going to this job thinking, okay, it's not the end of the world. I'm just doing this job to get money and also benefit in some form, but it's not what I want to do with my life. So it's okay if my experience here is crap. No, 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 no. Your time is so valuable. Your energy is so valuable. And I don't believe in suffering completely in order to make a living. And I know I'm coming from a very privileged background by being able to say that. I still live at home. I do not have children. I'm not married. I don't have these big bills to pay. I'm absolutely aware that I'm coming from a very privileged standpoint. However, I don't believe we were meant to just be here and work our asses off and suffer until we die or until we can retire. And I think if I hadn't, subscribed to that belief earlier on, I wouldn't have taken this job, and I probably wouldn't have stayed the entire month. And I know you're probably like, that's a month is not long, girl. Like, did you even like experience anything there? But I remember feeling such resistance and anxiety when I would wake up to go to this job. I just like really hated it. So I was like, you know what? Maybe this is not a fit for me. After a month, I left and I looked for other jobs. And around this time as well, I was working at an I am stumbling on my words today, guys. I was working at a marketing agency, which I loved that job. It was an internship that I had done, and we did very fun activations and all of that stuff. And I wasn't unhappy while I was there, but I also wasn't lit up. I was very happy about the stable income I was getting as somebody who was a university student and had only worked part-time jobs up until then. Having stable income, incredible, life-changing. But I wasn't lit up about the job, I wouldn't say. Like I walked in, I would try to do my best and I accepted the environment for what it was, but it wasn't something that I was eager and excited to enter every day. And now it's funny because when I was in school is when I got this internship, and I was under the impression that I was going to just work full time in this job after I had graduated university. I had gotten a letter of intent, which just meant like it's not anything set in stone, but it just means, hey, like, we'd like for you to possibly come back if there's a job opening. I graduated school. I reached out to them and asked about this potential opening if they're, like, I'm done now, I can come back, because I had interned there twice, 2 years in a row. And I'm finally ready to come back. I'm graduated and have all this time now thinking that this is what I'm going to do to make money while I figure out what I want to do. They don't have any openings for me. And again, I'm not bitter about it. I will say at the time I was a little caught off guard and I was a little, I guess, upset about it, or disappointed, I think is a better word, because it's just I was expecting my life to go that way. I was expecting to have stable income and work at this company that I had been at for some time, and it didn't work out for me. And at the time I was like, great, what the heck am I going to do now? But I'm so grateful that happened, because now that me being forced to kind of figure it out pushed me into media and content and entertainment and being an entrepreneur, which I am so happy about. I am somebody that truly values my time and being able to create my own schedule. I find that there's certain times in the day where I function better. I like that I'm able to rely on myself when it comes to the work that needs to be done. And I like that what I am doing is building my brand for me to benefit. And that sounds very selfish, I know, but I prefer to do that and pour into myself or pour into causes that I really genuinely care about, instead of giving all of my energy and my time to somebody else's company or whatever it is that I don't necessarily resonate with. So anyways, as you know, working as an entrepreneur and working on all of my stuff. And I thought last holiday season, it would be smart. It's, Christmas was coming for me, if you celebrate any of those winter holidays. But I was thinking, okay, why not get another part-time job? Because I have gifts to buy for people. I want to make a bit more than what I'm making right now, all of that stuff. And I was like, you know what? Let me apply to this job at this body care shop that I like. I am obsessed with their products. I have been obsessed with their products for years. And every time I go into the store, the staff are so incredible. They greet you, they want to chat you up. It's a good time. Was I wrong to ever do that to myself? And again, I'm not here to like shit on anybody's company. That's not what this is. I had this job for maybe 2 to 3 months, and miserable time. Like it's one thing for a job to just be like, okay, I was miserable. And all of us that had gotten hired on as seasonal staff were collectively like, oh my gosh, what the heck is this? To the point where we're like, trying to like comfort each other during our shift because they were so strict with us, and the energy felt very like Mean Girls. If I have no better way to describe it, it felt like Mean Girls, and felt very unwarranted. And maybe I also had a bit of an attitude. I think that can happen sometimes when I'm unhappy, but I felt very micromanaged. I felt like anything I did was a problem and like I couldn't do anything right. And not to say that criticism isn't beneficial, it absolutely is, but it just felt like every little thing I would do would be criticized. Um, so I had an awful time there as well. And I think after that second, or I guess third experience, whatever you want to call it, I was like, okay, you know what, girl? Maybe finding a part time job, maybe being employed externally is not for you. And you need to figure this out and figure out what you want to do. And if it really is entrepreneurship, you need to start putting your energy into that. Which is why I said at the beginning of this video, you will never find peace somewhere you're not meant to be. Because I was trying to obviously just find a job outside elsewhere and be employed somewhere else. But I genuinely do think I'm meant for entrepreneurship and communication and media and entertainment. I absolutely love it. I love to speak to you guys. I love to speak in public, all of that stuff. And I think my circumstances had to have been that for me to have such a bad taste in my mouth about being employed externally or having a part time job or having a retail job that I was forced into entrepreneurship and taking this seriously. And now at the time, of course, I didn't understand it. I just thought, maybe I'm applying to the wrong jobs. Maybe it's just like, maybe I'm the problem here. Like, how am I stumbling into bad work? But I think it's fascinating because I had a part-time job when I was in high school at this very well-known bookstore chain in Canada, and I had the best time. I had 7 managers in this job, and I was there for I think 2 or 3 years, and I've never once had a bad experience there with any of the staff, with any of the managers. Sometimes, customers are a little bit difficult, but that's part of the job. But I just like, at the time when it made sense for me to have a part-time job while I was in high school, I had the most incredible time ever. I was never upset. The staff went above and beyond to make sure that we were taken care of and had a good experience. So now all of a sudden, when I do have the capacity to pour into myself and I still decided to get a part-time job, it's not working out for me. Not once, not twice, 3 freaking times. And I know one of them was like a full-time job as well, but I think it just worked out in that sense to show me that I should not be there. And this is what I mean. This applies to so many different things in your life. If you continue to, I don't know, make certain friends that maybe aren't for you, and you keep having bad experiences, maybe those types of people are not who you should be hanging around. Maybe you got to go somewhere else to find a group of friends. Maybe you are constantly in a relationship, or in relationships with people that are not working out for you, that maybe aren't a good match for you, and you're wondering why this is not working out for me. Maybe the places you're looking are not where your partner is supposed to be. Maybe you should be looking elsewhere, or maybe it's time for you to be pouring into yourself and not focused on external people. Whatever it is, I understand now that every yes is a no to something else. And me saying yes to these other jobs was me partially saying no to myself, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to act like you can't do both. You can absolutely do both, but I know myself, and I'm somebody that can get burnt out pretty easily, and my energy can be depleted just by going to work outside one day. And in order for me to be successful in this, in order for me to pour into my entrepreneurship career, my entrepreneurial career, I can't be putting my energy into external jobs that are going to be depleting me. So next time you are offered something, or next time you don't get something that you want, ask yourself how this is working out for you in your favor. Next time you notice yourself in a pattern of terrible relationships, terrible friendships, awful jobs, or just not knowing what to do, ask yourself, okay, maybe what is this trying to show me about myself? Because now I'm in a position where I'm not yet where I want to be, but I will say I am so very happy with how I'm able to work on my career. I'm so happy with how I can schedule my days. I don't feel resistance. I don't feel anger or anxiety when I clock into work. I don't really clock in. I guess I just work on my own time, but I have created an environment for myself where work feels fun, work feels curious, and it feels exciting. And I would never have gotten to this place if I hadn't done all of those other experiences and noticed that, they weren't for me and they weren't working out for me. And at the time, I didn't understand it, but I'm so happy that it worked out that way, because now I'm here and I get to talk to you guys, and I get to produce my own talk show, which is kind of really fun as well. So yeah. Above all, as I said in the beginning of this video, you will never find peace in somewhere you're not meant to be. So next time you do find yourself in a pattern like this, or you're unhappy with how a circumstance turned out, you didn't get a job you wanted, a relationship or a friendship didn't work out, just maybe pause and ask yourself, how could this be working out for me? What direction is it pointing me into? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. I hope you are living a happy life. I hope you're having a great day. And if you have any thoughts or any other video recommendations, comment them down below. I'd love to know what you're thinking, or if you want me to talk about anything specific. I would also just love to yap. As you can tell, I like to talk. So yeah, have a wonderful time. I will see you in the next video. Bye.